guys, so today's video I want to show you guys all my favorite pet products. Now this is just going to be a general pet product, it's not dedicated to one pet. So I'm just going to show you some of the items that I... First up is being these bowls. I've recently just transferred all my animals to these. So these are really great because they are ceramic and they have a lot of different sizes. They have the really big ones and the really small ones. This is a small to medium bowl. And another thing that I really like is you can actually get different thicknesses in the wall. So this bit of the bowl you can get a lot thicker, so it's a lot harder for an animal to tip over. I have the thicker one in this size for the guinea pigs and it works great. I have one for Clover and I've always struggled to find a bowl that Clover won't tip over. She's definitely the type to want to tip her bowl over. She loves water and she can't with this one, so I really recommend these. They are the best bowls I... My next favorite is another feeding type thing, and this is a Kong. Now I'm using this for Clover and this is great. So I really like to try and mimic what my animals would do in the wild, whether it's foraging, hunting, things like that. And although obviously a ferret is not going to be eating out of a Kong, this really gets her brain working and she really has to work to get her food out, which is really enriching for her instead of just sitting in one place eating out of a bowl. So I really like this. If you're wondering, this is a small slash petite. It's up to 9 kilos. It is for dogs, but I'm pretty sure Kong has recently came out with a small critter line aiming for things like ferrets and I think cats. So you could obviously go with that. I wanted a very small one because I don't want Clover getting her head stuck in anything any bigger. So this is a really small hole, but it actually fits a perfect serving for her. I'm able to put things like mince and organs cut up in here. And Clover's not a big girl, so she's not a big eater. The only thing I don't feed her in this is her whole prey, but besides that, this is great and it really gets her. So now on to grooming, something I wish I bought from the start when getting my Jersey woolly rabbits. And if you have any long-haired sort of animals, I definitely recommend investing into some good hair scissors. Now, for me, I can't really get the shavers onto my rabbits. Their fur is a little bit too thick, and since they haven't had a good pass, their coat is extremely prone to matting, so trying to get shavers through them is impossible. And also it just stresses them out, they don't like the noise. So I went ahead and bought proper hair scissors. These cut through hair so much better because, well, obviously they are made for it. And I really like the size of them, and they have this little finger rest which makes it really comfortable. And then I also went ahead and bought a smaller pair, and one thing I like about this is it has a blunt end. If you can see that, see how there's like a little bowl at the end, and this is great for around the face, so I am not at risk of poking them or stabbing them, since something like this is one, very big, and it has that sharp tip. So definitely recommend investing into. Now for brushing, because really any animal you should be brushing, doesn't matter if they're short haired or long haired. Brushing is very beneficial to get the oils moving and to keep the coat healthy. Now this is a very cheap $5 brush from Kmart, but I really like it because it has the wire type side here with the little bulbos, and this is good to really get through the coat and get the knots out. And then you have this for around the face, or if you do have a shorter hair animal like guinea pigs, this is great just to get the top layer of hair off, and it's kind of relaxing for them. So I really enjoy this, and as you can see, it still picks up quite a lot of... Last thing for grooming is these nail trimmers. Now, I had a pair of the exact same nail trimmers for 5 years and they worked amazing, and then they finally died. I then went ahead and bought $3 ones from Kmart, and they were horrible. They didn't even last a month, and I had to throw them out because they were just blunt and like gross. So I ended up going and finding the exact same ones again. So these are the Duramax nail clippers. I got these from my dollar store. They're like $4, which is really good. I'm paying $1 extra for ones that is gonna last me another 5. So for litter slash bedding, I really like Yesterday's News. Now, I don't have Yesterday's News brand. There's a lot of different brands. I just have the Coles one, and it's basically just recycled paper litter. This is safe for literally every single animal, and it is dust-free, eco-friendly, so although I might be using a little bit more than what I would if I was using fleece, at least I know I'm not harming the environment. And it's very cheap. This bag for 15 liters was about $6, and I use this for every single one of my pets, plus my mum uses it for both the cat and her rabbit, and it lasts around a month. Now that sounds crazy and you're probably like, how the heck are you making it last that long? And that is because I kinda only take out the bedding that is soiled or dirty. So with Clover's cage, I've filled her tray up and I haven't actually done a full clean out of it. She goes in the same corner every time. So I just take out that corner and add a little bit in, and the birds, because I do use this for my birds and my rats. The only two animals that I will do a full clean out once a week is Chia, my chinchilla rabbit, and the pigs, because it's way too hard to try and spot clean for both of them. So I'm not using a lot of litter, nor is my mum. I've tried things from wooden, like pelleted litter, to shavings, like Aspen shavings, paper litter like Carefresh, and they either are really dusty and cause problems, or they just are messy. Like with the Carefresh type things, my animals would like track it throughout, and it was just really annoying and messy. So I really like this because it does have really good odor control. Now my last favorite is the cages I use for all my small pets. So I do have a video on all my small pets cage tours, and the cage I use, I'll pop it up. I need to learn to remember the name of it, but it's basically a bird cage, and it is the exact same dimensions as a critter or ferret nation. So it's very good for things like ferrets, rats, my chinchilla rabbit, or if you have a chinchilla, it would be great. The only thing you have to do is use some sort of thing to make levels out of. I personally use NIC grids and then cover it. So these are amazing and they are cheap. Trying to buy a critter nation here is very hard since I do live in Australia, but also if I were to order offline, it's about $300 to $400 here. Whereas these cages, I found most of my cages free off Craigslist, but they often range 150 max.